Thank you all for joining. My name is Ken Russell, City of Miami Commissioner, District 2. I'm here with Police Chief Manny Morales. And we're here to reach out to cities and police departments around the country to ask if they'd like to join in our efforts to help a city in Ukraine. Today we announced a sister city relationship with Irpin, Ukraine. It's a suburb of Kyiv on the northwest corner, and it's been designated a hero city during this battle with Russia, during this war, because of their strength in holding off the Russian offensive into Kyiv. They took major casualties, and the front line wasn't necessarily the army, it was the municipal police. And so our goal is to do what we can as a city to help our new sister city. And we'll be sending them defensive equipment such as helmets, such as bulletproof vests, but the twist here is that we're also sending guns. This is an unprecedented effort, and many people are skeptical that a city would be able to do this. We have found the way, and we're inviting other police departments around the country. If you have surplus weapons, if you have confiscated weapons, if you have guns you've bought back from the community, anything that would otherwise go to destruction that is suitable, we can work together with you to help get them to a place of need. Ukraine has fallen off the press cycle, but the war has not stopped. Our attention span simply has. The atrocities are still happening, the offensive is still happening, and Ukraine is doing everything they can to hold their ground and fight back. We'd like to be a part of that in any way we can. So when I first approached Chief Morales, he was skeptical but very open-minded and interested, and I have to say he found the way to do it, and I couldn't have done it without you. Our commission couldn't have done it without you. So thank you for finding the legal and logistic hurdles, the relationships we needed to get this done. The way it came about was through an initiative that was brought to our commission by the chief with regard to the defensive equipment. And that's when I asked, would it be possible to also send guns? We have been working together with Marian Saplotsky, who is a member of parliament in Ukraine, as well as Mayor Alexander Markushin, who welcomed our offer of a sister city relationship. And so the guns will be going directly to their police force over there. They do have plenty of ammunition. What they are short on is guns, both handguns and rifles. They simply asked us to keep it within the calibers of 9mm for the handguns, 5.56 for the AR-style weapons, and 7.62 for the AK-style weapons. And once they have that, they've got the ammunition to do what they need. They do have laws currently over there that still do not allow civilians to have handguns, yet they're hoping to change some of those laws. Some of their elected officials are working on that during this offensive so that residents can protect themselves in their homes with a handgun in case of an attack. So our buyback was completed a few weeks ago, and in that we were able to collect just under 70 guns from the community, voluntarily brought by our community, folks that were happy to exchange a gift card and turn in a gun that they no longer needed in their home. This is nothing mandatory. This is not a taking of guns. This has no effect on the Second Amendment. This was simply if you live in your home and don't feel safe with a gun or have a gun that you'd like to get rid of, we're welcome to take it from you. But we didn't stop there. We delved into our surplus stock of confiscated weapons. And we've gone through a rigorous process. We had nearly 300 of those weapons, but we had to vet down a process. And that process involved first seeing if they were functioning weapons. Could they be suitable? Did they fit the caliber? Second, each of them needed to be fired by a specialist within the chief's department to get the markings of the casing and enter them into the database system to see if those guns were needed in an investigation anywhere in the country, and those wouldn't be suitable to send. Then we checked the serial number to see if any of these guns are stolen weapons that belong to someone else who's reported it, and we'd have to return it to them. And after all of that vetting process, we now have 167 guns ready to go to Irpin, Ukraine. They'll be air freighted there as soon as the logistics are worked out, but in the meantime, again, we're reaching out to the municipalities within our county, Miami-Dade. We know there is already interest from North Miami Beach, and the chief is talking with them. But we're also reaching out to any police department in the country. Rather than destroying guns, if they're suitable and they could help folks in a war zone, we'd like to send it. We'd like to help, and you can too. So that's our goal today, to get the word out. around the country to police departments that you can send guns for Ukraine. It's hashtag Guns for Ukraine, and the chief has all the communications efforts and open lines to talk with other police departments around the country. I'll hand it over to the chief, and then we'll take any questions you have.
Thank you, Commissioner, and good afternoon, everyone. Manny Morales, Chief of Police, City of Miami. When the Commissioner came, like he said, it was a bit skeptical at the beginning. It's an incredibly polarizing topic, especially in our country nowadays, but I knew that there was a worthwhile cause and an endeavor to be a part of. And one of the moments that kind of turned skepticism into hope was when we were able to finally get in touch with members of not only Parliament, but the Ukrainian government, that told us that the real need for the weapons wasn't for the military, was for fellow police officers that are putting their life on the line, as they would in any other country, fighting to keep their community safe, fighting to keep their citizens alive. So that is really where that incredible ray of hope came, and we're just ecstatic that we're able to kind of help in a small part to keep officers in other communities being effective and keeping their communities alive. So, like the Commissioner mentioned, we're working closely with North Miami Beach Police. They're interested in holding another gun buyback event and jumping aboard this worthwhile cause to try to get these weapons that are no longer needed, wanted, or useful here in the United States, and have them make a difference abroad. So I appreciate that, and I urge all our other partners from all the other major municipalities or police departments, if you're interested, give us a reach, and we'll definitely find a way to put you in touch with the exporter. It was a complex process to navigate to try to get all the lawful authorities and the process in place to be able to send the weapons overseas, but we're very close to finalizing that deal. So thank you to all that have helped out so far, and an incredible thank you to not only our legal team, but our property unit and evidence that have worked arduously to try to find the weapons that fit the criteria of what was requested by the Ukrainian government. And that was that they had enough ammunition of 9mm, 5.56, and 7.62, so they needed those particular calibers, any weapons that fit that description, and that's what we're sending them over. So thank you, and appreciate you coming in.
Any questions? Chief?
We haven't finalized the deal with them, Mr. Sawaya, so we're not releasing that name until the deal is done, or the process. The sooner the better, but we don't have. But the company that we're dealing with already has ATF approval and the blessing of the State Department. I'm sorry, it's our understanding that all the costs will be assumed by the exporter, so it's going to be in-kind donation from theirs. This won't cost a penny to the citizens of the City of Miami.
Chief, how many, I'm sorry, there were 167 ready to go, correct?
Yes.
Right, and then y'all delved into your surplus of 300, right? And looked through those, is what you guys said?
So those were the weapons that were in our property and evidence. They're not City of Miami guns. They're weapons that have been either confiscated, found, or taken in by the Miami Police Department, but not property of. They're not the weapons that we have. We didn't purchase those guns.
These are all weapons that have been confiscated by your department. They range from handguns to semi-automatic weapons, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right. And I know you don't want to elaborate on the process, but can you elaborate on the process, or can you just? I mean, I would imagine you said it's not easy. Can you just touch on how? What kind of red tape this involves? You mean
in the effort to export the weapons?
Yes.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's a delicate matter when you're talking about any item that can take somebody's life. So we just want to make sure that we not only abide by any local, state, federal guidelines, as we're making the connection that the company that we're dealing with is reputable and has been established, and that we need some sort of assurance that the weapons are going to end up in the hands of the police officers in Ukraine. So that has been when I talk about the complexity of the process, that has been.
And you all said ATF as well as State Department?
Absolutely, yes.
Right. And Commissioner or Chief, You said these are not for the military. These are to serve police, like your rank and file that you have here. Can you elaborate for me on on the importance of that?
I don't know.
Sure. Some would say we're stepping out of our bounds as a city to take this on, that our federal government is sending billions to Ukraine in military assistance. This is for the average folks on the ground and the municipality employees, just like ourselves. I mean, imagine if we were attacked here someday. Our police would be on the front line and our residents would be defending themselves. Some of these guns may end up in the hands of residents if the local police so deem it appropriate, and we're okay with that. We're here to help them in their time of need, and they've shown their bravery, and there's such a frustration within our country of what can we do to help, and money and prayers and hopes with all the NATO issues. I mean, this is something we can do, and so we're taking action, and it is urgent. They've actually asked that the guns go by air freight. And so where the defensive equipment may be going over in a container, a sea ship container, once the logistics are ready, my understanding is that all the guns will be sent by air.
Irpin is the name of the city, correct?
Yes.
And is that Irpin Police Department, might you know? Or maybe it has some other name?
It's called Irpin City Municipal Police.
Yeah, they sent us a letter from their council, their equivalent of their commission, as well as their mayor, within 5 hours of my conversation with the member of parliament, thanking us for our involvement and our willingness to help, and their happiness that we be entering a sister city relationship. Hopefully it'll go way beyond this conflict and will create trade and tourism and all the things that sister cities are meant to do, not in a time of crisis.
And Commissioner Wood, can you talk about the initial contact? Did they reach out to you? Are we already sister cities with them? How did the weapon...
We are not. That was passed at resolution today at City Commission. So this is a new relationship. None of our leadership have ever been to Irpin. I've worked in Kyiv back in 1998, but I never went to Irpin. It was chosen by the member of parliament who has a relationship with that mayor as a city that sustains significant casualties. And if you look up the Battle of Irpin, you'll learn what they went through and the casualties many of their women and children experienced, and the way they were trying to defend themselves, even underarmed. But they did. They held off the line, and they were successful in saving Kyiv, and they were designated a hero city at that time.
Did they call you, sir? How'd that happen?
So there is a group called the Ukrainian Congressional Committee of America, I want to say. And they're helping coordinate the concept of the defensive items that are being collected. And they're doing this effort around the country, anyone who has the helmets. And they were the initial contact to the member of parliament. But we introduced the concept of the guns. We were involved with the initial buyback. It was sponsored from my office. And the other guns, obviously, there was no cost with those. Obviously, whatever his operational costs of vetting and firing and checking them and everything. But to my knowledge, at this time, we don't have any standing expenses with regard to the exportation. It is complicated, but we're working with partners that have this already figured out. They already do this. And if they're willing to step up and cover those costs, it's better for us. What do you think, Chief?
We don't know the exact time frame. It's difficult to predict, but we're hoping that within the next couple of weeks we'll be able to. So Ukraine has asked us to send the initial amount now. That's how important it is. They said not to wait until we find other cities or further buybacks or get a larger number. They need whatever we can send now. So the first shipment will probably be ours. Maybe if North Miami Beach comes on board, whatever they've got. But hopefully within the next couple of weeks. And then if there's a good response from this outreach, hopefully other cities that are conducting buybacks will have. And nearly every police department has a stock of guns that they don't know what to do with, that are slated for destruction, that are in storage.
perfect candidates for this. So hopefully this is actually a solution for departments around the country and a good use. But we're not going to wait.
Commissioner, well, lastly, you gave out gift cards to people who returned the weapons.
Yes.
Well, can you touch on that for us? And how much were those worth? And do you have a total amount?
Sure. They varied from $50 up to $200, $250?
150.
Up to 150 based on the size of the gun. Handguns were 50. Single action rifles were a little more, and then the semi-automatics were more than that, up to 150. Yeah. The response was great. Some of the people in the stories, even though we had a no questions asked policy, some were telling us their stories about a woman brought a couple of guns. She was married to a veteran. He has Alzheimer's and dementia, and she's already had issues with the guns in the house, and she didn't want them anymore. Another was a divorcee who had a child in the house, and there was a gun left in a shoebox in the closet. She doesn't know what to do with it or how to use it. And so happy to bring it, and we're happy to take it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Commissioner.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Thanks for getting the word out.